Hello and welcome back to another FPL video. So obviously Game Week 25 and the FA Cup are both finally done with. They're finally over, thank God for that. And we now finally have an idea, well we know anyway, what's going to be happening in the next 5 game weeks. So we know who's blanking and who's playing in Game Weeks 28. That was the biggest issue, and obviously who's going to be doubling in 29. And we have a clearer idea as well who will be doubling in Game Week 32. Obviously, they're not confirmed yet, but we have a clearer idea. Now, I've put up a couple of players who I'm definitely going to be looking at bringing into my team, and also a couple of players I'm definitely looking at getting out of my team. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first player I'm bringing up is Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa. Now, obviously, with this dark cloud currently over Ivan Toney's head right now about this suspension, which we still don't know anything about. I mean, it could be next week, could be next month, or it even could be at the start of next season. And it's really frustrating because at the minute, Ivan Toney currently has probably some of the best fixtures coming up. He's got 2 double game weeks coming up, and then he's got no blank in game week 28. So realistically, if he does get a suspension, I think we're all praying it's not going to be until game week 30. But, we can't really rely on that. So if you don't want to take that risk, or you do, and you want somebody else to go alongside him, I think Ollie Watkins will be a good pick. He's currently in some great form right now. He scored 5 goals in 5 games, so clearly Emre's really got a fine tune out of him, because if you think back to the start of the season, he didn't get off to the best of starts, but different manager, different style, and he seems to be really taking to it. Now, obviously, when you look at the fixtures coming up for Aston Villa, game week 26, Crystal Palace at home, that's a good fixture for Villa. Then you got 27, you got West Ham away. West Ham battling relegation, not doing so well as it did last season, so there's a good chance for a goal. Game week 28, there's no blank for Aston Villa. They've got Bournemouth at home, that's a great fixture, there's a good chance he'll score there. And then 29, he's got a double game week. Yes, they're both away, and yes, they are not the easiest fixtures, Chelsea and Leicester, but Chelsea's defence has been all over the place. Chelsea are all over the place, as are Leicester. They seem to leak in goals, so the next 5 fixtures for Aston Villa look really promising. So could he take those 5 goals to 10 goals? Who knows? But for now, I do think Ollie Watkins would be a great pick. Right then, so the second player I've got on here is currently Rico Henry of Brentford. But what it should really say, or could say, should I say, is any Brentford defender that plays week in, week out. Why? Because Brentford play 6 games in 4 game weeks. That's a lot of games to play in 4 game weeks. And obviously the manager of Brentford, he came out the other day and he says there's going to be a minimum amount of rotation, which is what you want to hear. It's not like Pep and Klopp where they just change it all up. He says he's going to do minimum rotation, which is an added bonus. So obviously Henry, he plays week in, week out, 90 minutes pretty much every game. So this is why I've gone for him. He's somebody who I'm definitely looking at bringing into my team. Yes, the goals and assists aren't really flattering, but that's not really what I'm going for. It's just the fact they've got 6 games in 4 game weeks. That's fantastic. Now, obviously, look at the fixtures coming up. Fulham at home in 26. That is a tough fixture, to be fair to Brentford, but they are at home. Yes, Mitrovic is back for Fulham, but Brentford are no pushovers themselves. So what they are, 9th in the league. They're only 10 points behind Spurs. They're doing really well this season. And if Ivan Toney does play in these games, there is a good chance Brentford could really do some damage in these next few games. And defensively, yes, Brentford aren't always the best, but for now, with these fixtures coming up, I do think they're going to do pretty well. Obviously, game week 27, they've got a double game week. Yes, they're both away games, but Everton struggling to score, Southampton struggled to score. I think there could easily be 2 clean sheets there, or hoping there will be 2 clean sheets there if I do go for a Brentford defender, and I'm 99% sure I will. And then game week 28, they've got Leicester at home. Now Leicester, they're a hot and cold team. Obviously, when Madison in the team, they start ticking, but they're also not so good away from home. So maybe that will come advantage for Brentford. Brentford are also decent at home themselves. And then I've not even got it on here, but they've also got a double in game week 29. Now, yes, they're both away games, but still, that's another 2 fixtures for Brentford. So 6 games in 4 game weeks, that's brilliant. I do think these next 4 particularly, I think Brentford could do really well here. They could easily win all these games 1-0, and that would do really nicely. Henry, for example, is only 4.5 million as well, so you could splash your cash everywhere else in your team. So he's definitely somebody I'll definitely look at bringing into my team. So to bring players in, you got to take players out, and the first guy I've got on here is Eddie Nketiah. Now, he's somebody who I've brought into my team, and he's not really done anything for me. Got the odd couple of assists, but that's really been it for me. Unfortunately, I didn't get any goals from him when I've had him. But his time, in my opinion, is now up, really. That last double game week Arsenal had, I'm sure many other people decided to bring Nketiah in just for this double game week that just happened in 25. And unfortunately, he was benched for both games, which is not good. And then you got the added unfortunate of Gabriel Jesus also back in training for Arsenal, so he's definitely going to be coming back into the team very soon, which I do believe is obviously going to push Eddie Nketiah back. So, in my opinion, I definitely look at selling him. Yes, he's got a great fixture, Bournemouth. He's got Fulham away in 27. Then he's got Palace and Leeds. Honestly, these next 4 fixtures for Arsenal look great. They look brilliant. 3 home games out of 4. They can really do some damage. But if I'm being honest, if you're looking, especially if you're looking at, let's say, wildcarding, I'd definitely look at maybe going for 3 Arsenal midfielders or 2 Arsenal midfielders and a defender, because at the minute you can't trust if Eddie Nketiah is going to play, because especially if Jesus is back, if he comes back, especially for this Bournemouth game, you really ticked off then. He's not going to be playing much. He'll be going back to playing 15 minutes a game. So I think now the time is over for Nketiah. He was nice for that short spell, but I think it's now time to take him out. So my final option on here is Mo Salah at Liverpool. Now, if I'm being honest, I should change that to all Liverpool assets. If you own any Liverpool player right now, I highly recommend you just get rid. I've got 3 currently, and I'm going to look at trying to get rid of as many as I can. Obviously, I went for the gamble. I wanted that fixture in game week 28 to happen, but unfortunately, Fulham beat Leeds in the FA Cup, so it's had to be a blank for now. So you look at the fixtures now and you think, game week 26, Man United at home. It is a derby game, but Man United are in great form. They've just won a trophy. Can you see Liverpool really doing anything there? Not really. They could nick a 1-0 up maybe, but I'm not seeing much in that game. Bournemouth away in 27. Now, this is a fixture I did want Liverpool players for, if I'm being honest, but because of that game week 28 blank, it's not really worth it. Yes, they won 9-0 at the start of the season. I can't see that happening again at this time, especially when it's at Bournemouth. So, yeah, like I said, game week 28 is a blank, and then you got game week 29. Yes, it's a double, but it's Man City away and Chelsea away. That is an absolute nightmare of a double. It's not even worth looking at. You may as well just change it to 30, game week 30 for Chelsea, because it's just an absolute nightmare. It's horrible. So, definitely recommend getting rid of Liverpool players. They're not like they used to be. They're not kicking off like they did last season. They've been really poor this season. It's just not worth it. You got Mo Salah on here, currently priced at 12.7 million. He's not really smashing it. You can buy an Arsenal player for 5-6 million cheaper, who's absolutely killing it right now. So 100%, I definitely recommend getting rid of your Liverpool assets. Right then, so there you go. Those are my transfer plans for game week 26. And obviously, there is a lot more that I could say, but I don't really want to be doing a half-hour video because there's so many fixtures, so many players to bring in. I decided to go for those options just because I thought those were the best options to talk about. So I hope you liked that video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.